and welcome to Blue Jays Today, where your boys always have something to say about Toronto Blue Jays. I'm your host, Nicholas Playlive.
And I'm your host, Adam Peddle. And today, guys, we got to talk about this ridiculous trade rumor that we saw on the internet today. Apparently, the Cubs want to trade for Matt Chapman, and what they're giving us in return is kind of disrespectful. But before we get into it, guys, welcome everybody to the live stream. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't already. You subscribe, you chat along with everybody, talk about this ridiculous rumor. All right, let's get right into it, bro.
Let's get straight into it, dude. Let's take a look at this article here. Now, I don't want to go after Cubs fans altogether.
No.
It's just specifically Michael Breakbill.
Michael Breakbill!
What are you doing,
bro?
guy?
Come on, man.
What are you doing, man? I get it. It's like Matt Chapman's a good player. Other teams want Matt Chapman.
Name,
okay,
yeah, for
fair
sure.
enough, man. Like, you do that. We do that stuff over here all the time, talking about other guys. But we gotta be a little bit more respectful to the Toronto Blue Jays management and to what Matt Chapman is as a freaking player.
Yeah, because, bro, like, look, I get it, you want Matt Chapman. You see the contract. Oh, well, 1 year left. Okay, maybe the Toronto Blue Jays might flip him, but that's assuming that the Toronto Blue Jays are actually garbage this year. So that's why it's kind of disrespect. That's another part of the disrespect.
Yeah, and
you thinking that we're going to be that bad.
We can get into the whole scenario of the potential of trading Matt Chapman later in this video, so stay tuned for that. But let's get specifically to this trade that Chicago Cubs, Michael Breakbill, whatever, has proposed here.
So, yeah, basically just to sum up all this area, guys, he's just talking about, oh, Matt Chapman's elite. Oh, he's got great ISO, which is isolated power.
Yeah,
great
we
guy.
really want him. That's
of course.
really nice.
Of course. Yeah, great WRC+.
He's really good at baseball. Must
really
be really
good
nice
player.
for the Toronto Blue Jays.
And then we got the trade scenario. The trade scenario is the Blue Jays would receive Adbert Alzolay, and if you would watch this channel for a while, I have mentioned him in one of our video rooms as a potential trade target, so that kind of makes sense. But then you also add on Nelson Velasquez as an outfielder for Mr. Matt Chapman. First thoughts, Nick. What are your first thoughts when you read those names?
I'm like, who? And then I go to Baseball Reference to take a freaking look at them.
Let's take a look at Albert.
Let's take a look at Albert here.
He's
Yeah,
the big
27 years old right here. This is a pitcher. Now, when we look at the ERA, when I squint really softly and like I can just see the ERA, I'm like, oh, the ERA looks good. And when I squint really softly and I see the WHIP, I'm like, the whip looks really good. But then when my eyes widen a little bit and I see the innings pitched, not so good, guys. I was looking at this guy, both Adam and I were a little bit earlier. Don't get me wrong, got potential. Got years left on his deal even, but where's the health?
No, he was not healthy last year, and look, he came up as a starter. He was brought back in the bullpen. Could be an interesting bullpen piece because as a starter, like 4.58 ERA, like I don't feel good with that at all.
Like a 4.48 career ERA, like this right here. I mean, maybe to a lesser extent, but this almost reminds me of Nate Pearson.
Yeah, kind of.
I don't want another Nate Pearson, guys.
But worse than Nate Pearson.
Literally, right? It's like that experiment has not worked out, and I sure as hell do not want to be giving up a Gold Glove third baseman, who could hit 30 home runs this year for another freaking roll the dice experiment that I have no idea what I'm gonna get out of you.
Yeah, even if we were doing really bad and we had to ship off Matt Chapman, like this is not the kind of return I want. I'd rather take my chances and try to extend Matt Chapman through the offseason.
Absolutely not, guys. The next guy that this dude I guess suggested here was Nelson Velasquez. 24 years old, so a young guy, and we have to assume lots of time left on his deal. Yeah. But do you even want it?
Very young, like you said, but he came up and looked kind of underwhelming. An 85 OPS plus. The batting average is low, 205. I guess there's a bit of pop if you compare the ISO.
What position does he play?
He's an outfielder. And he's a right-handed bat. So right now with our outfield, I guess, look, if we're making this trade, we're doing it for 2024 and beyond, right? So we'd have no Kevin Kiermaier at this point. We still have Varsho. We still have Springer. So we want this guy to be our next outfielder?
No.
I don't think so. I think we'd be much rather looking at better options than Nelson Velasquez.
Yeah, I mean, it just feels to me like this is really just favoriting the Cubs here, right? It's like this is a right-handed hitter who has not shown any promise in the major leagues yet. Maybe he's a good prospect. I'm not super duper familiar with the Cubs farm system here, so maybe he's got potential.
Right.
I don't know. But this is a right-handed batter that we don't want to have in our lineup anymore. The other guy is just an injury-riddled, feels like add-on, even though this might be the big piece of the deal. You know, it's like, I don't know what I'm getting here, right? And when we look at Matt Chapman and we look at what he's accomplished, 3.5 WAR last year. The batting average definitely needs a little bit of work, but still a lot of power, a good OPS plus, and just highlight after highlight after highlight in the field, making plays that I can guarantee you Nelson Velasquez isn't going to make.
Negative WAR, everybody. Negative WAR. So that tells me the glove is not good, right? There's nothing here, right? So obviously Matt Chapman, I want to keep him this year. I mentioned a little bit throughout this video, like, I want Matt Chapman on our ball team trying to win a World Series with the Toronto Blue Jays, but the only reality that we'd ever be looking for a trade is if we're god awful.
Yeah.
Like, we have to be 60 games into the season. We got to be 20-40. Yeah. Like when Noah's going to be down for the year. Gosman's going to be down for the year. Vladdy's out for the year. Bo is sucking. George is injured again. Like, that would be the only reality where Matt would go. And I wouldn't do that. What could we get from Matt Chapman if we decided to trade him?
It obviously all depends on the situation, right? And I do second what Adam's saying right here. I definitely do not see Matt Chapman getting traded at all before opening day. The only reality that I think that Matt Chapman gets traded from the Toronto Blue Jays is, as Adam's saying, we're not doing very well. Matt Chapman's putting together a pretty nice year with only 1 year left on his deal. The Blue Jays are like, damn, this year's a wash. Let me see if I can flip Matt Chapman for some value. And frankly, that would make a lot of sense to me. Now, what could we get from him? It all depends by that point how many home runs Matt Chapman has hit. Right. It's like if he's having a really nice season, then who knows? Maybe we can flip him for a really nice bullpen piece, or a
pitching prospect, or something like that.
Something in that realm. I don't expect that we're ever going to be able to get the bag for him unless he's like literal MVP sort of thing. Because he's only got 1 year left on his deal. But somebody will trade for him.
Here's my thing. I think I'm only ever going to trade for him if he's actually literally MVP, because then we can actually get some sort of value. Because here's the thing: if he's actual MVP, we can't extend him. There's no way we can extend Matt Chapman. So if we're 20-40, come June, and he's MVP, we have to trade him. We have to get value back because we can't sign him back. But if he is doing what Matt Chapman is doing, like he's hitting that 225, 230 batting average, he's popping a few dingers, he's doing well with the glove, I might just hold on. If that's the kind of trade that we would get, I might just hold on, because we're never going to have those guys play the major leagues.
And
I try to extend them.
This is all assuming, guys, by the way,
assuming we're crap.
The Blue Jays are bad.
Assuming we're crap.
If the Blue Jays are good at baseball, like we all kind of expect them to be, if we're 500 or above 500, which we should be for this season, if everything goes according to plan, we don't trade Matt Chapman at all, because if he's awful and we don't want him on the team, nobody would take him. And if he's good, then obviously we need to keep him, because we're winning ball games and we need to continue to win ball games. So the only real reality where we would trade Matt Chapman is we suck and we need to get value, and I'll tell you right now, we wouldn't do it for a deal like that.
Definitely not. Guys, this is where we're going to cap the video right now, but we're live on YouTube currently, so if you guys click that notification bell button so you can be notified when we're going live and we can have these extended chats. But for now, guys, please make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and thank you so much for watching.
And go Jays, go!